It's important I can speak. It's more important that I figure out how to do that later than to delay this further now. Because I know I'm gonna see it and then it's gonna annoy me, but it annoying me is gonna help me remember to actually do it. That should be everything. Okay. Oh, right, I stopped like right here. Oh. Everything has max damage, okay.
Chicago! Crowded out there! Wait, let me guess. I'm going to open this door again and all the demons will be gone, right?
It's not moving the camera there again. Oh, I have to keep this on. Nope. I appreciate the commitment. That much I'll say that is nice, is that I appreciate the commitment. Is that okay?
Chicago! Crowded out there! Wait, let me guess. I'm going to open this door again and all the demons will be gone, right?
It was a nice thought.
That's not fair, because I said I think it was gonna happen again. Banking's not too bad, as long as you're not committing tax fraud. This is not an endorsement of tax fraud. It is pretty funny, though.
Chicago! Crowded out there!
I'm dying here.
Wait, let me guess. I'm going to open this door again and all the demons will be gone, right?
2, 3.
It was a nice thought.
Shotgun stopper is probably the best thing for this. Oh, I thought you were just talking about being... They're just constantly crashing around. like precisely what I got this up to. The camera really did that is crazy loud. Because that was the overlap of multiple displays. Because there's some, yeah, there's a lot of them that I missed. I don't know if that would have happened in the original game, or if it's just like, especially this version, questionable also. That got through. Yeah, it did.
Finally! Let's go and see what's behind that door.
Yeah. A couple of those explosions got really loud. Okay. This seems to be a little bit better. But it definitely gets worse with certain effects that are playing from certain enemies. Like those ones that roll, just make so much noise for like no real reason. So I have no ammo for Dentist. But we're gonna be behind here. Oh, no. Oh, that was it. Oh no, it just loaded a new area.
More poo decaf? What does that mean?
Must be a joke from the designers.
The who?
This means nothing to me. What is this?
Who are these comedians?
I believe they're guardians of this room. Each has the ability to control a piece of the puzzle.
Is there any way to shut them up?
Shove me down one of their throats and I'll let you know.
Wait, so can I... Oh, okay.
Oh, Garcia! It smelled atrocious in there!
Huh? Oh. It wasn't just left and right, it's a full 3D thing. Okay. I need Skull Blast to have more capacity. The reload speed on Dentist isn't bad, but if I want to use Skull Blast, I definitely need higher capacity for more ammo. Okay, better. Somehow I knew that bird was still coming.
What's so funny, bitch face?
Okay.
I don't hear you laughing now.
Can't go there. So I'm gonna have to rotate it around to go there. I guess they're mad that I did that. I did nothing wrong. They had no reason to be mad at me. So what if... Okay. Oh. No, I live. Okay. Oh. So this moves this. That might be... Depends on how this thing wants me to flip it. There. Okay. Brother. Am I not allowed to do a puzzle in peace anymore? How many else can I take? Still need like 50 more gold for dentist. But I could at least... That's not fair.
Way too easy.
That,
Why now?
Can we see a goat head back on that spinner? Hurry!
There we go. Oh, so that's just a vending machine, so I don't need to go there. I'm fine. I didn't expect that, but I'll take it. I'm supposed to rotate this. That should work. At least for removing whatever this moves. This is my penance for curiosity. Okay. I guess that's what they thought. So what stops me from just going this way? Oh, because I would have to connect there anyway. Got it. So it probably wouldn't let me jump down from over there.
A nice, cool shower.
G, that's a golden shower.
I'm not gonna ask.
Well, this is as far as I go, friends. If y'all want to conduct business, now's the time.
So this is the furthest that he'll go. So I could at least get a hot sake pack then. Yeah, so that's my last purchase upgrade.
Y'all take care now.
So if that's the last one I can purchase, I'd rather have the reload speed. So then how much of this is the climb? I'm not sure that counts as climbing. The Castle of Hassle.
Fuck. I hate climbing.
Listen to you, old man.
Really invested a lot in security cameras. Not sure what a demon lord would need security cameras for, but alright. We got the money to spare, I guess. Okay, that's a lot. Didn't expect that shot. Okay, I got a little bit close. Oh.
What kind of man are you, Hotspur?
Oh, sugar. The exit is blocked.
Where's this going? Oh, I hate this game. So it just needs to explode up there. Okay. So I want to go here. What about fire? Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I have a leader. There we go. I had to be in there when that went off. Directly out. Don't know why I got that, but okay. I'd rather just finish the reload speed. If it's gonna be the one consistent weapon I got, you might as well make it the most powerful. Oh, that's really fast. Okay. Just a third one, I guess. If it's just gonna keep feeding me right now, then this will freeze them. Yeah, like that's extremely fast. Oh! I can still lock on even while reloading. That's so nice. Oh. You got it. Okay, question about it. Please. Okay, that doesn't work on my head. Switch plans. It also feels like that head's soaking the sun. I can't be out of ammo. Okay, there we go. Even with max damage, then just isn't enough to just get rid of that. Oh.
Now where are we?
It seems to be some sort of maze.
Let's try the right one. Oh, cool. So you guys are fodder, you don't need real speed. Right. Let's try left. Nope, okay. So it's that type of maze. So what if right forward? Okay, so I look forward, so if it starts moving... Oh. You want something. What if I go... They're not hostile. Oh.
Just like when I found her.
In the rubbish bin. Wouldn't there have been, you know, more garbage and less flowers? Sorry.
Maybe I should have left her there. If I hadn't picked her up, Fleming would not have targeted her. He is making her suffer because of me.
You don't know that.
Nothing makes me angrier than realizing I only get to kill that son of a bitch once.
I can either go forward or left. Let's try that. Oh! Wait. No. This ends... Oh! Free red gem. So, that was worth it. Okay. That was completely unexpected. But I went forward. Oh, just here again. So then, what if I go forward again? Oh, it just leads me back here. Okay. So... I accidentally made progress on my first time? Okay. Either I accidentally made progress on my first time, or it does that if you go back there again. And I don't really have any way of figuring it out. At least not
So be it.
These last few ones are going by pretty quick. Okay. This is going by way faster than I expected. I think you would probably know if somebody was taking your elevator. At least have a boat.
Be right with you, Hotspur. I still got some pride to go with these thighs.
Take your time, Fleming.
This is like notably low even in comparison to the other cutscenes.
After all, it is going to be your last.
You really think you've won? I like that. And I see you decided to join our revels after all. Care for a bite of my last supper? It's low in trans fat.
What are you having? Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me. Who are you having?
Why, it's your precious Paula, of course. The skin is so soft and tender.
Wait, Garcia! Don't shoot!
What? Oh.
I love you, Garcia.
Paula? Oh God, what have I done?
Oh no, you killed her again. How could you?
Fuck you!
You see, only the prettiest women look radiant in red. This woman belongs in the Lord of Demons' bed. She will not be returning to you.
Paula, you hold on for me, baby. I'm getting you out.
This meal is over.
Look out, Gene!
I don't remember, like, oh. That game's directly in the chest, though. I don't want to shoot her. I thought there was a trick of hitting her with a light shot. That instantly game's over. So I can't hit her with anything. Out of consideration.
Ooh, feels good.
So aiming at his head seems to work. Oh no, wait, the chest does work, okay. So as long as I don't shoot Paula. There we go. I see him make a pull for the jacket. Oh. There's blue ammo over there. I just gotta wait. Oh, that can get him to stop. Can I do anything here? Nope? Okay. Try to wait. 2, 3, 4. That seems to cause him to flinch. Not a lot, but at least enough that would get him to stop doing whatever attack he was doing. Yeah, and then whenever he's like that, I can't really do much. It seems like the only thing I can do when he's like that is attack the head. Or not. Oh, that will stun him out of everything. Huh. That feels like there's something I'm missing. Is that really? Oh! I guess that was my answer. Interesting. Okay. Oh, that's so weird. Still can't do anything during that. When he returns back to neutral, it seems like I can do stuff there. But don't want to risk getting Paulo. He really doesn't seem to know what to do. Guess I'll just keep waiting, I guess. And 5. Nope, can't aim up that high. Do something. Oh, can't do anything. I thought I died. Like, nothing. Getting really good at flicking that. Just... done. Let's see that. You got it.
Fuck yeah.
So this is another phase, but I guess I just shoot the red one. I guess that's how we do true damage. Oh. Oh. Half sense worth it. Or not if I'm unlucky. So that way I can start again at least with more ammo. Since now I know what I actually need to do. Which means I can save the shotgun for when it's done. Okay. Yep, there we go. Like, I couldn't tell if that was just like an actual visual thing or just something to indicate health. Okay. Because, like, the game likes to use that lightish gold color to indicate when you should shoot at something with a light shot. And I'm used well, part of this could be me making an excuse. I'm used to it being like darker like those ones. Where it's like a much brighter brighter orange yellowish. Shot. Okay. Remedy. Okay, I don't know why it wants to sit in front of me and get shot, but alright. Trick. Oh, oh. that you're asking me? Oh! I didn't think that would kill me. That's probably what I get for not upgrading my health at all, but oh well. I at least know what I have to do now. That was bizarre. I think that looks like a Alchemist or at least a little bit. Those lines almost completely filled out after hitting the back. Something right. Yeah. Oh, come on, come on. Please don't look at my terrible aim. So as long as I use the dentist for these parts, it shouldn't be too bad. I just have to make sure that I keep actually locking on. I have to keep them in my sight too. So then I keep the dentist for that. Then I use... these two for damage. And because I have this at max damage up... These do a significant amount of damage, actually. I don't want that. Makes me a little bit mixed about how to use this. Not like it's not useful entirely. Or that you can't use it, but I don't like changing something that's a hold the charge into something completely different if you hold it down for too long. That's more of a personal thing. That's the body. Looking the wrong way. Okay. I should go again before I die. He just sits here during this. I also don't really know how to feel about the camera of like waving back and forth during all of this. Not for any real crazy reasons. Like there's nothing really spinning, it's just kind of tilting. Well, no, but that's not really even tilting anymore. But that's just still a lot of damage. Oh. I dodged that. I don't know if I had to exit with that one, or if there was another one. Or if it was like a window thing that I had to open multiple times. Okay, I did that one. There. Reload. Can we do that? It also feels like I have to keep damage up for a little bit. Like, it seemed like those parts would recover a little bit if I didn't constantly shoot at it. There. Okay. Okay. Do I... Please. I don't know if
What's killing me?
Okay.
Could be your
I don't know if I was supposed to shoot at anything or just keep dodging that, but okay.
and what you see might be dead wrong. Time will tell, and as well my forever.
Yeah. There we go. I was right about to say that didn't feel like a pseudo ending.
Why didn't you console me?
Actual
Why didn't
angel
you let me
wings.
die each time? Tell me why! If you truly loved me, why did you die with me? Why did you make me suffer all alone? Don't you love me? Why are the demons after me? Is it because of you? Why must I suffer because of you? What about me? Where is my freedom?
Lola, forgive me.
Never.
That key.
Oh.
Try it in the doors. We need to create an exit.
Strawberry, 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 strawberry,
Feels good.
strawberry, 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 strawberry.
How do we get Paula to come with us?
Ooh.
Shoot her wings, G! Parts that are different.
Whoa, okay. Where?
Shoot her wings, G! Parts that are different.
Oh, that's what the whirlwind does. Okay. I don't know what that charm does, and I really don't want to find out. No, there would be a lot more eyes. But I do like the 6 minutes. Oh. Oh.
Left behind!
So we have to keep moving forward while dealing with her. You know what? Fair. I will give you that. You're right. There are eye designs on the wings. They actually... they look a lot like some of the eyes on Ava Angels. Oh, there you go. That's coming around, pointing me right towards Absent. That was gonna kill me. I have to keep moving while dealing with an enemy that can spawn... Skullfest, I might have to just keep for the enemy, but then the Hop Owner and Dentist I'll have to deal with the rings.
We're gonna get left behind!
But I also just need a lot more ammo for this. I have a really bad time telling you when that's going to hit. Really don't want to get hit by that. That guy's right on me.
Imbecile!
This thing needs to back off.
Hop it, Jim!
Am I stuck? Oh, because that guy was behind me. Can you seriously just stop? Also, I don't know why, but the audio is now a lot lower. That might have been a glitch during No, this is definitely an audio glitch. Okay, one of the wings is finally black. Knew it. No, wait, it only...
It's shrinking! Hurry!
It only worked until a voice line came up? Okay. Ah, I got spun. I really just need to fish hard. Yeah, whatever filter, whatever happened, it's stuck on it.
Tables have turned, nothing is learned, surreal tragedy, love wasted up from the floor, spirit once more, the final learning process, falling down, you might scream, you might shake, could be a lonely mistake.
That's really
Hey,
sweet,
sleepyhead.
at least for a way that Suda's ended a game.
Garcia, it's you. We're together. Finally.
I missed you, Angel.
Are you listening? About this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Mexico. Magnifico.
Great. Let's fly to Cancun then. Spend some quality time together on the beach. Do a little intelligence gathering of our own and see if we want to settle down there. Sound good?
I cannot wait to eat real Mexican food. Although, the cocineros will never be able to top this caprese.
Glad you like it. The tomatoes are organic and the mozzarella is made from buffalo milk.
You even made hamburgers.
Well, my hamburgers come from a special recipe.
Really? Let's see if I can guess. I'll get it.
Oh.
Go ahead and pick out the hotel.
Will do.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
You can tell so much about a man from what he puts between his buns.
What?
Some people play it straight with beef hamburgers. Others, I believe, go for pulled pork.
Okay.
And let's not forget that wonderful chicken breast. What kind of man are you, Hotspur?
Who is this?
In case you're wondering, my answer would unfortunately have to be none of the above. After all, I am so much more than any man. I only throw human patties on my grill. Just like I only throw human honeys on my bed. Cha-cha!
Garcia, you're taking too long. We're still eating.
I really
Back
do
to
have
your
it tight.
seat.
Oops. Shit. Paula, let's book that hotel fast, huh? Before they get here.
Yes, let's. Uh-oh. It's raining.
You have no idea.
They're coming, G.
Too late to book that hotel, huh?
No! No! Garcia!
Here we go again. My name is Garcia Hotspur, hunter of demons. Fate has led me to fall in love with the Lord of the Underworld's mistress. His horde of minions will never stop coming to claim her. But I have sworn to strike them down, each and every one, until she is mine alone. I will take on the whole world if I must. Slay every creature in my path. Because I still see love in her eyes. And because I love killing fucking demons.
Ready, G.
Always. Sorry, Paula. Mexico will have to wait.
There's an actual ending. That felt... Those first 3 acts feel really strong. Like, really strong. I really like them. But like, it really kind of weans off. Yep, Travis Strikes Again comes back to this later. Huh. Like, that really started strong. I don't want to say... I don't want to say that, like, I'm disappointed. Because I'm not. Like, I had fun. There are some bits toward the end that I also liked. But the bits more toward... The bits in, like, Act 4, Act 5... didn't really have the same... I still like this game. It kind of tapers off. Hi, Nitties. But no, I could definitely see why, like, a bunch of people fell in love with this and still like this. Hell, I still really like it, but, kind of tapers off. Not to the point where, like, it makes the entire thing disappointing or not worth playing. It just kinda... It loses that spark. And, like, I don't know how much of that is either... The design just feels weird. Like... It feels like... How to describe it? It feels like... two kind of different games. It feels like two different games that were clearly made by the same person, or like the same team, but they were kind of put together. Not like completely different, but like... They still feel like the same game. They just feel like very two different halves of the same game. And admittedly... The door part in Star Paula is really weird, yeah. Like, Like it to kind of fit the comparison, like that feels analogous to Resident Evil 4 Island, where it's just like you're roughly like 65% of the way through the game. I'd say like maybe about 70, and then it is a very notable tone shift, but still very much the same game. Like the last act just feels very clearly differently made than like how the approach of the other parts were, which is very interesting, especially considering that Act 4 had the more unique gimmick in the in terms of the like side-scrolling sections. But then it also had stuff like where you were using the shotgun upgrade for bowling, where you used that for a couple of like stage things, and then you also had to do it for the final boss. So part of that feels like, oh, this is a really interesting idea. Why are they introducing this so late and only with this weapon, with this upgrade at this point in the game? Like, it feels very lopsided. I think that's the proper way of putting it. It feels lopsided. Where it's just like, there are things that are introduced later that you're like, oh, well, why didn't they do this earlier? Or why didn't they have something similar to this earlier? Because it comes out of very left field in comparison to like how the rest of the game operates. Special thanks to Electronic Arts. All in all, I still really like it. And I definitely like those first 3 acts. From there it gets a little bit questionable. Still incredibly bizarre that this game doesn't have like proper graphical settings. Girl shopping girl settings. Filmed on location. No demons were harmed in making this video game great. Demons were filled in natural habitat and expected an underworld. In reference to existing humans that demons places named for events feeling coincidental. That's cute.
What's our luck? Demon keeps dreaming of a demon town. Motherfucker, bitch, fuck, shit went down. Fleming's got an itch, scratch it with a bitch. Demon keeps dreaming of a demon town. Ooh, Johnson, that's my name. Big penis, that's my game. Johnson, yeah, Johnson, ooh, Johnson everywhere, yeah. Motherfucker, bitch, shit went down. Ha ha, in the darkness, we shall have fun. Talk about my Johnson, talk about my bum. Talk about my thighs, they're really good in size. Oh my goodness, I can't believe my eyes, cause Fleming's got an itch. Scratch it with a bitch. Demon keeps dreaming of a demon town. Motherfucker, bitch, cock, cunt went down with a demon town.
Sorry, you kind of have stiff competition today. Kendrick just dropped. You're not exactly gonna win that Grammy. Oh, I get New Game Plus. Yeah, that's Shadows of the Dam, and there's still no graphical settings. Huh. I kind of want to keep streaming because I don't want to just go for 1 hour. But I also did not have anything planned for this, and I don't want to start something new right now. I don't really have anything though. What if... Let's see. So that to its part, 24.4% of players have this achievement. 8.3% of players have completed a game on hard. So then... Oh! Those difficulty setting achievements are by difficulty. Ugh. Yeah, so not exactly super difficult achievements, but those are time consuming if I really have to replay the entire game on easy and normal in order to get those. But, I guess a New Game Plus would be a little bit faster, but still, that's kinda... I remember that was a big thing that I kinda always got kinda nervous about when I was trying to go for achievement hunting in certain things. Or like I wouldn't know if completing something on hard would also get me achievements for completing it on easy and completing it on normal. You know what? I'll do it, because I already exposed a little bit of myself, so I'll do it again. Let me just switch games real quick. I need to change that font. It's not Comic Sans, but it, like, feels like it in spirit, and I really don't like that. So let me also change this. What am I gonna update this to? No wonder why the neurotypicals hate it. Where? It usually takes me a while to come up with a... Well, no, it doesn't take me a while to come up with a title. It's easy for me to come up with a title when I know what I'm playing. When I don't know what I'm playing or I'm changing anything, that's when it becomes an issue of me coming up with a different title. There we go. This one isn't marked as sensitive? Well, okay. As long as it's Yuri, it's okay. Also have to make sure that this captures correctly. Because I also wanted to stream this on Halloween, but I never got the chance to. also need to remember the route that I took before so that I don't take it again. Speaking of game... Let me up this a little. Okay, that should be better. Oh, right, because I had streamed this before, but I did remember playing this once before. There's nothing to light your way save for the moon's milky glow, but its rays cannot reach you, not properly. The trees which surround you jetted out of the earth like eerie monuments to a foreign god and are blotting out most of the light. You cannot see where you are going. Even if you had commenced your flight at a more sensible hour, however, with the light of the sun to aid you, it would be little use. You do not know where you're going. You have no map, no route, no plan. You're running like a frightened animal, anxious and nervy, with no destination in mind. I don't know what you're talking about. That's a bold assumption to make, officer. You cannot let yourself be caught. If that were to happen, you are certain that you would be ruined. You have no choice, therefore, but to keep going and on through the feet screaming at your mercy. You have no idea how long you have been running. Time has begun to blend together. It has lost all meaning. Something sharp snags at the hem of your skirt, but you do not have the luxury to pause and examine what has happened. Instead, you tug. Your skirt tears, the sound splitting through the forest, and you stumble forward with a shocked grasp. You are free, but at what cost? Your skirt is very irrevocably damaged. It might be too late to worry about such trivial matters now, though. If you do not start running again, and soon she will catch you, then your life will be over. You do not know if she is still following you, but you do not want to risk looking over your shoulder. If you were to see her silhouetted beneath the tree, looking at you with its sickly sweet smile, which once ensnared you, you would lose what little nerve you possess. Your legs would lock up and your blood would freeze in your veins. Then you would crumble. You would fall, but you would not hit the ground. She would be there to catch you. She did not promise when you made that contract that you would never... Did she not promise when you made that contract that you would never be alone? You would like to take back that silly wish of yours, but it's too late for that. It is too late for a lot of things. All you can do is run. It's cold enough to sap the heat from your body, and you shudder from it. It feels as though you are drowning. It feels as though you are being burned alive. Your knees and your shins, meanwhile, are bleeding. You cannot endure much more of this, but if you value your life, you must. You run, and you run, and you run until at long last you reach a fork in the road. There are 3 paths which split off through the forest. Well, 4 if you count the path down which you came. You cannot exactly double back on yourself, though, not when you have put so much effort into running forwards. You can only press on. The 3 paths are signposted, which is something of a strange sight given you're so deep in the forest. Dark though it might be, you have grown accustomed to the shadows. You can just pick out the writing on this old, dilapidated signpost, curved and slanted though it is. Your fate, if you will forgive me for sounding cliché, is in your hands. Now I wonder, which path will you take? Don't worry about those other ones. So there's a shore, there's a castle, and there's a village. I might be a little bit biased. A little bit biased. So I'm going to the castle. So you want to go to the castle. But... okay. Good idea. All decent fairy tales tend to conclude in the castles once they're beleaguered, put upon heroines are finally able to wed the handsome princes they once dreamed of. Why bother trying your luck with the shore, which may very well be deserted, or the village, which will be full of dirty, barefoot peasants? It is far better to skip the suffering and go straight to the grand finale. That is very astute of you. I did not realize you had it in you to be so mercenary. I can only wonder what you will uncover during your moonlit meanderings. The night is far from over and your adventures are only just beginning. I hope only that you have brushed up on your curtsies. They might come in handy when one is interacting with the sovereign. Royals can be temperamental after all. If you fail to treat them with the prerequisite amount of respect, you might come to regret it. You follow the path which leads to the castle, supporting yourself on weary, aching legs which feel ready at the moment's notice that attach from your hips. You're a little more than a wisp of a girl, but you have been running for so very long, and your feet are so very numb, you feel like a great lumbering thing, clumsily and ungainly. The soles of your feet are screaming at you. You need to lie down, and quickly. You only hope as you continue to run that you will find a spare room available for you in the castle. You do not know what exactly will await you at the castle, but you have visions as you run of a vast, opulent dwelling. This dwelling will surely be full of finely furnished rooms in which you might rest your weary head. There must also be a king and queen inside the castle, you ponder. Who will be kind and wise, and what of their children? What of a princess? A very good castle must possess a princess who will take pity on you in your plight. You can imagine the face of this gorgeous princess with ease, thanks to the fairy tales you read in abundance as a small child. The princess will be fair of hair and blue of eye, with soft pink lips pursed like rosebuds. Her limbs will be slender, her hands dainty and unsoiled from physical labor, and her sensibilities will be sweeter than marzipan. She will be kind to you and compassionate, just like an older sister. I'm not doing anything. That's a very bold claim you're making, officer. You do not know what older sisters are like, though, or younger sisters for that matter. You're only guessing. You are not a complete fool, however, despite your tendency to daydream, and you do have a few reservations. Monarchs do not, as you know from voracious reading, have the best track record when it comes to caring for the peasantry. Was there not a famous queen who once said, with a cavalier wave of her hand, that the hungry peasants in her kingdom should content themselves with cake if bread was not an option? Technically speaking, she didn't say that. However, no, that saying's too useful and too cool to pass up on. You think that this might be a misquote, but the point still Thank you for having the well actually in the script. The royals are supposed to grant their subjects succor in their time of need. This does not always happen. In fact, it very rarely happens. Kings and queens and princesses and princes are just people at the end of the day, and they are subject to the same capricious... Caprices? Caprices. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Because I see it and I want to say capricious, but I don't know if capricious is? Because that doesn't sound right either. That all humans are. They can also be careless and selfish and inconsiderate. There's no guarantee that this mythical princess of your imagination will help you. Why, there is no guarantee that this mythical princess exists at all. Still, you must try. It is this hope which keeps you going. You continue to run to the castle. It takes you some time before you finally emerge from the wood, but finally you do it. How much time, you ask? I cannot answer that. I did not say that time had begun to lose all... Did I not say that time had begun to lose all its meaning? The forest is behind you now, at least, and all the awful nightmares which dwelt within it. It is so cold though, foggy and very dark. That is very loud. Thank you. I am gonna have to keep reading. I am gonna have to keep drinking water. Thank you, because that also reminded me that I have to remember to move that to the side because that still annoys me. It annoys me that it's up there on the other side. It is still cold though, foggy and very, very dark. The sun has yet to rise. You can see the moon more clearly now, though as it hangs above your head, round as any pearl or orb or crystal ball. The moonlight shines down upon the castle, which looms in front of you like a cliffside. The stone edifice of the building is imposing, and it drowns you in shadows darker than the depths of the deepest ocean. The castle's not all dark though, not like the night sky above it. When you crane your head, you can see that there are lights flickering within the narrow, slitted windows. It would appear that somebody is home. The king and queen, perhaps? What of their servants? But perhaps more pressingly of their guards. You half expect, as you stand there, that armored knights will accost you for daring to approach the castle of king and queen so-and-so. Do you not know your place, foolish peasant girl with the dirty skirt? Be gone with you. You are not, of course, a peasant. Your family is a wealthy one, or rather, they were, before your father made a series of poor financial decisions. You do not look like a young lady right now, though, with your dirty face and your dirty skirt, which is torn at the hem. Why'd I say hem? If any guards were to take a look, if any guards were to take you for a vagrant, it would not be surprising. But though you stand there dithering, your filthy fingers hooked in front of your filthy skirt, you do not hear any cries. Nobody sounds the alarm. Lights might be on the inside. Lights might be on the inside. Lights might be on inside the castle. But there's nobody outside of its perimeter, a standing sentry. There's nobody to impede your entry, and the elaborate iron gates, which are set into the vast stone walls about the castle's exterior, are open just a crack. It would be a trivial matter to slip inside. There's nobody to stop you. Why are you trembling now, you silly thing? You have come so very far, it would be an act of foolishness to turn around now. Go on, go. Inhale, perhaps an attempt to screw up your courage, which has at long last begun to fail you. And then you step forwards. You slide between the two wrought iron gates as stealthy and as secretive as a thief, then cross the path which leads up to the tall, imposing structure. The domed doorway which leads into the castle itself, hewn from stone, is closed, but at a push of your palm it swings inwards. The door creaks alarmingly as it opens, the sound loud enough to split the silence like a thunderclap. You inhale at this and glance around, your eyes darting hither and thither. If there are any guards posted about the castle's grounds, they should all have been alerted by that sound. Will they come for you at long last? What will happen should they catch you? Will they throw you in the dungeons? That does not sound like a pleasant way to spend a night. At least you would have a roof over your head, though, and you would not have to keep walking. Your feet really do ache. You stand there with an indeterminable amount of time. Your heart pounding, a panic, the regular rhythm in the base of your throat. But no matter how much time elapses, no guards come. You are thankful for your good luck, though it does make you wonder, where is everybody? Why? It is almost as if all the people in the world have disappeared. Could you be the very last human left alive? You frown, then press your palm back against the door. You push less cautiously, this time heedless of the loud sound which splits the silence. There's no point worrying about the guards, not when they might very well be non-existent. I do this thing where I trip myself over because I'm trying to predict what the next word is going to be. And then I have to double back and then actually read what the thing actually is instead of presuming. Like, my eyes are jumping ahead of where I want to be able... My eyes read faster than my mouth can read. And that messes me up because I want to read as fast as my eyes can read. Your entry to the castle secured. You then take a few steps forward. The door swings shut behind you, and a resultant slam makes you jump. You did not expect it. Your heart knocks against your ribs, and with wild eyes you glance about. You are standing in a vast entrance made of stone, which splits off into any number of passages. At the very end of the hall, meanwhile, there is a large, elaborate staircase, one which seems to extend to the heavens themselves. It is dark inside the hall, but there are numerous torches set in scones in the stone wall. Sconces? Sconce. Yeah, sconces in the stone wall, which are aflame. They offer some relief from the shadows. You can hear the faint sound of the wind outdoors as it moans against the castle's impervious walls, but you cannot hear any footsteps. You cannot hear any voices. You cannot, more importantly, hear any people. Maybe the castle is empty. If that is the case, though, who lit these torches? It is a curious conundrum. You muster up what remains of your courage, then cry out, addressing the empty hall in a timorous voice which fails to properly fill up the space. Hello, you say, your eyes wide. Is anybody there? Your voice echoes through the vast, empty hall, but it is met yet again with silence. You cannot say you are too surprised, but it is somewhat disappointing. Not one to be deterred, you try again and again, your voice growing louder with each subsequent attempt. No matter how loud your voice, however, it fails to reach any ears. If anybody is here, they do not seem to be particularly sociable. That, or perhaps they simply cannot hear you. Could they be in another room? Yes, that must be it. You will never find that pretty fairy tale princess of your imagination if you stand idle, you know? It is time to get to work. Put those legs of yours to good use. Not knowing what else to do, is there anything else you can do? You begin to explore. You examine the rooms first on the ground floor of the castle, which are of a similar scale to the impressive entrance hall, large and richly furnished, but utterly unoccupied. After some time of aimless meandering, encountering nobody save the ghosts of aeons past memorialized in portraits upon the walls, you muster the courage to ascend to the second floor. This floor, too, you examine, wandering through a seemingly endless series of hallways until at the very last you find a door which is ajar. From between the crack of the door and the jamb, you can see flickering light, irregular, yes, but it is a light nonetheless. Could it be from a fireplace? That would suggest then that this room is occupied, unlike all the others. Perhaps the kindly princess you dreamed of will be awaiting you in this room. It is with a trembling hand that you press your palm against the door. You push it. And you step inside the bedchamber which unveils itself to you. Shyly, you stand on the threshold of the chamber, much of your courage extinguished in a gasp. The bedroom itself is gorgeous. It is a chamber so luxuriant not even the shadows can obscure the fine craft of the furniture within it, nor the rich patterns on the walls. It is the girl inhabiting the chamber, however, who truly takes your breath away. Sitting upon the... I can read. I think she's neat. Sitting upon the velveteen sheets of the towering four-post there is a girl in a sumptuous red gown who seems to be a like age to you. You do not have a clear view of the girl's face. Her head is bowed, her gaze direct downwards at her lap. You can tell from her hair, however, and from her slender calves, which protrude from beneath the hem of her dress, that she is very pretty. You can tell from her hair, however, and from her slender calves, which protrude from underneath the hem of her dress, that she is very pretty. The girl's hair is golden, just like freshly cut wheat, but it is the red of her dress which truly captures your attention. She is so striking you cannot look away from her. The girl is not alone in her chamber either. She has a companion, though this companion is not half so endearing as she. In her lap, perched upon her velvet skirt, is a doll. The doll's hair, like that of her mistress's, is golden, though much of it is hidden beneath a bonnet. The girl is adjusting a china teacup held in the doll's tiny hand, while the rim of the cup glints in the light that exudes from the fireplace. If the girl is of a similar age to you, it seems strange that she would content herself with playing with dolls. She is not too old for it? This girl would be more at home, you decide, at a ball, wearing an extravagant gown, speaking with a wealthy nobleman, perhaps even a prince. She should not be sitting in what you presume is her bedchamber, adjusting a teacup in a doll's hand. But you are not afforded much more time to stand there, marveling at the girl, because she turns. She raises her head, and her eyes meet yours. You thought the girl pretty when you first observed her sitting on the edge of a plush velveteen bed examining her doll. Now she is looking at you, however her face illuminated by the flames in their grate. You can see that you were mistaken. She's not just pretty, she's beautiful. So much so it is breathtaking. She looks as though she has stepped out of the pages of a picture book. She is simply too perfect to belong to this world. Perhaps she is some kind of a vision, a waking dream, a hallucination. But no, she is none of those things. The doll in her lap is a cold, hard thing made of porcelain, and is unflinchingly, reassuringly real. If she were a mirage, surely she would not be able to handle physical objects such as this. It is strange, though. The doll, though immaculately made, looks oddly imperfect when compared to the girl who is holding it. She is so startlingly beautiful, she even puts man-made representations of feminine charms to shame. The sight of her makes you feel rather weak. You always have had a fondness for fair maidens, haven't you? You're rather hopeless when it comes to them even worse than a knight errant from a courtly legend. Your aesthetic appreciation is not particular. Why are you being mean to me? It is not every day a girl encounters an elegant beauty like this, attired in red, illuminated by firelight. I suppose I can forgive you for this rudeness. You're kidding. I don't need this. It's not fair. She does not seem to be the type to hold a grudge. says in a voice that's surprisingly enough far less refined than her appearance. It is good to see you. I've been waiting. Has she? That is news to you. You blink, perplexed. A response on the tip of your tongue, but you are unable to expel it into the ether. The girl is setting her doll aside, then stands, the hem of her dress swishing about her legs. Nimbly, like a ballerina, she canvases the space between you. Her room is so very large, there's quite a lot of space. Then takes her hands in her own. You must, the girl says, her eyes glow with excitement. Be my new lady's maid. It's been a while, but it's such a relief that you finally arrived. I knew that you would. You'd never leave me alone, not when you knew how long I was waiting. Oh, I'm so happy. The girl's good mood is contagious, so much so you find yourself being swept away in it. You're tempted to accept any identity she may press. Thank you. You have never been a maid before, but you might not mind being this girl's maid. I'm not a trial here. She does not seem like a poor mistress to serve. Not if she is always this kind. You cannot mask the confusion, however, which flickers across your face. You're not a good enough actress, and in any case, this is all happening too quickly. Why, you barely know this girl. Why is she being so very familiar? It is with the blank, well-fine eyes that you examine the girl. Your befuddlement is pronounced enough that even the girl, despite her good mood, notices it. She frowns. Then she says, her fingers sliding away from your own. Or am I mistaken? Are you not my new lady's maid after all? The disappointment in the girl's face is abundant, so much so your heart clenches. You do not know her, she is some stranger, but you are struck all of a sudden with an intense desire to appease her. You do not want to let her down, I know. The thought is devastating. You are not aware, you tell her that you had applied to be her maid, but if that's what she wills, you will not be opposed to it. You pray that she forgives you, though, for your discombobulation. You come from a distant country and have traveled for many miles. You know not where you are, and you do not know you do not know who she is. You do not know who I am. It is regrettable, you tell her, but no, you do not know her, though this is no fault of her own. While you have spent such a long time running, you hardly even know yourself. So you're a fugitive, then, from another country, I see. I won't pry into your past then, if you'd rather forget about it. I don't mind sharing my past with you, though. Everybody in this country knows who I am, after all, or at least they should. And this is quite the impressive boast. If it were to come from the lips of another, you would find it unpleasantly arrogant. You do not think, however, that this girl is trying to show off. You get the feeling instead that she is merely telling the truth. If you don't have the pleasure of knowing me, then allow me to do the honors. Your father and my mother were the king and queen of this realm, and why did I read yours? My father and my mother were the king and queen of this realm, and I am its princess. I've lived in this castle all my life, so I don't know much about the outside world, but I know that other countries do exist out there. I presume it is from one of those foreign countries that you come from. It is very good to meet you. I've always wanted to talk to somebody from overseas. It feels like quite the opportunity. The girl giggles at this and a smile in response. You tell her unthinkingly that it is your pleasure, really, to meet her, or at least you mean to. You only get halfway through this remark when the full gravity of what the girl has told you sinks in. You come to a stop. Then you stare. just say she was a princess? Yes, that's right. I'm a princess, and one day I'll be queen. After I've done a little bit of growing up. The ministers don't think I'm ready to run a country just yet, but I've been doing my best at my lessons. One day I'm sure I'll be the best queen there ever was. So she really is a princess. That makes sense, you suppose, given she lives in a castle, but it comes as a surprise regardless. You hadn't known before you entered the chamber that you were trespassing on a lady of such great renown. Why, if she willed it, she could have you executed for your carelessness. An ugly red flesh creeps up her face, a flush which is far more lurid than the princess's dress as they look to your feet. Bashfully, you stammer out in your dress that you are very sorry for intruding upon her and you hope that she can forgive you. Oh, it's alright. Think nothing of it. I don't mind, really. We all make mistakes anyway. You weren't to know. You said you weren't from around here. You nod your head in silent affirmation. It isn't a complete lie. You really are not from this country. We're not from this world at all. How wonderful. I look forward to picking your brain later. All my servants come from the nearby village. The tales are all the same, and so are their superstitions. I could do with a breath of fresh air. My last lady's maid told me I was too impetuous, but I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting a little bit of adventure. Not that I've been afforded much of that. I've been shut up in here for so long, I hardly ever get the chance to talk to other girls my age. My last lady's maid was older than me, and so was the one before her and the one before her. Some of the princess's fair mood seems to dissipate as she speaks, her expression turning by degrees into something rather more pensive. But I haven't seen any of my old baby maids in a while, or any of the other servants for that matter. They've all disappeared. Now this is quite curious. How could a whole household full of servants simply disappear? That I don't know. This castle is full of servants' maids. My lady's maids, my undermaids, and my scullery maids, and my housekeeper. And my cooks, and a large retinue of retainers. They're all gone now, though. I think my ministers must have sent them away. I don't know why they would have done that, though. They didn't explain it to me. But then again, they never explained anything to me. They still treat me like a little girl. It's so tiring. She said that her minister sent her servants away? What of her parents, the king and queen? Would they not be the ultimate authorities in a council's hierarchy? They would, yes, if they were still alive, but they're not. They died a long time ago. I was raised for most of my life by my servants. Oh, you answered, and then you flush. You haven't known. It's alright. You don't need to apologize. I'm just happy that I have you now. I was getting sick and tired of only having my dolls to speak to. They aren't the best conversational partners. You can imagine so, yes. You doubt any doll, even one made by a talented artisan, can have an intelligent face indistinguishable from the humans. You'll be very good at answering back. Oh, now they aren't. They're hopeless at it, really. They're so stony-lipped. You've no idea how much of a relief it is to see you. This castle is so big, and without my servants it feels so very empty. It gets so lonely here. Now that is an interesting turn of phrase. It catches inside your head like a burr. Have you heard it before? She does have fangs. I'm noticing. You do not have much time to ponder this, however, because the princess is speaking anew in that curiously conversational manner of hers, which does not seem particularly princessy. Maybe she learned how to speak from her servants. That would explain why her consonants are so unrefined. Oh, but listen to me yammering on again. It's a bad habit. I really must put a stop to it. You're probably tired, dear one, from your travels. Would you like me to show you to your room? Yes, the princess announces, before you can say anything in reply. I think I'll do just that. I might show you around a bit the castle first, though. It's like a maze in there, and I wouldn't want you getting lost. You'll be staying here for quite some time, after all. The princess then hastens to take you on a tour of her room. Fortunately, she does not show all of the rooms in her abode, neither does she offer overly long descriptions as to what the few rooms she does show you are used for. She does, however, pause by the kitchens, whereat she offers you some victuals? Once the growling in your belly has been satisfied, the princess then resumes her journey. She leads you down a dark, twisting hallway, and up a series of equally dark, twisting steps until she arrives at long last before a door. The princess pushes this door aside summarily, thus permitting you entrance to a small, humble bedchamber. This chamber is not half so opulent as the grand bedroom in which the princess resides, which is resplendent with its resplendent four-poster and its richly patterned wallpaper. The ceiling is not as high, and the singular bed shoved against the wall is thin and narrow. The walls are unassumingly beige, and the floor beneath your soles is of warped wood. There's a malodorous scent, too, which hangs in the air, one of disuse and general decay. You get the feeling that nobody has slept in this room for quite some time. I might explain why it feels so very cold in here. Though, if the princess's tour of the castle is like anything, it is that it is cold in every room in her abode. Now here we are, the final stop of our tour. This will be your room, dear one. I hope it's to your liking. The princess, despite her exalted status, looks somewhat uneasy as she observes you, her eyes upturned like those of a wild dog's. Is she concerned about your reaction to this room? Perhaps she is afraid that you will turn your nose up at her kindness. For a princess, she is awfully eager to please. This unexpected contrast between the princess's lofty title and her ingratiating attitude makes you smile. The room is rather scanty, yes, when it comes to its contents, but it is more than passable. It has a roof and 4 walls, and though it is cold, you fancy you will feel warmer once you have slipped beneath the bed sheets. The room is not quite so fancy as your dormitory at the conservatory, and neither is it so large, and it does have one glaring improvement over your previous lodgings. You will not be expected to share with anybody else. There is only one bed in this room, and this bed is to belong to you. You think that the peace and the quiet will do you You think that the peace and quiet will do you a world of good. You tell the princess as much, and she smiles. That's good. I was worried you wouldn't like it. I know it isn't much to look at, but it's one of the nicest servants' rooms we have in the castle. Most of the maids sleep beneath the floor in this teeny tiny room, which is all cramped. There's 10 beds up there, and they're so close together, there's barely any room to pass between them. I thought it was perfectly ghastly when I saw it, the last time I went up there. Not that I was surprised to be up there. Not that I was supposed to be up there. It was a rainy day and I couldn't go outdoors, so I was doing a bit of exploring. If the housekeeper had known I'd been skulking around, I don't think she would have been pleased. She would have been best pleased. That. Well, in any case, nobody sleeps up there anymore. The skeletal remains are all gone now. I couldn't put you up there, though, in the attic with all those empty beds. I don't think it'd be very cheery. You're not just a scullery maid. You're not just a scullery maid. You're my lady's maid. That means you deserve good lodgings. It'd be an insult to offer you any less than this. Now it's getting late. You'll have to forgive me for rabbiting on. I've heard it's something I tend to do. It's a bad habit. One that's unbecoming for a lady. The housekeeper's warned me enough times. You reassure the princess to the contrary, smiling as you do so. You don't mind if she talks too much. That is better than not talking at all. Her affable nature makes it easier to spend time with her, manners be damned. You were always scolded too, back in the conservatory, for your behavior. You know full well how aggravating it can be to be upbraided, not for any particular misdemeanor, but for being yourself. Well, I'm glad you understand, the princess answers with a giggle. I really should be off, though. It's bad manners to keep you, especially when you look so sleepy. Get some rest. We can talk more tomorrow, if you don't mind my ceaseless prattle. I'm glad you seem to appreciate it, at least. Though I'm sure you'll get tired of it eventually. All my old maids did. The princess departs. In her absence, you take a seat upon the bed, your new bed. You cannot help but think that this is all happening very quickly. It does not seem very long ago that you were still in the forest, running for your life amongst the tall, imposing trees with their gnarled, grasping branches. The forest might as well be just a memory now, though. You were indoors, inside a castle no less, and you had been given a room in which to sleep and clothes that you might wear. It seems premature still to declare that you were out of the woods in a metaphorical sense, I mean, but things could certainly be worse. You force yourself to stand on legs which feel too weary to support you, and change into the night clothes in the wardrobe. The night clothes do not fit you properly, but you're too tired to care about that. You're too tired to care about much of anything. You retreat to the bed and slide beneath its sheets. Then your eyelids fall shut. You exhale. And lulled by the breeze which blows outdoors, you fall asleep. You are so very tired, and your sleep is a deep, dark one, darker even than the furthest abysses of the nighttime. Like the nighttime sky, however, which shimmers with stars, your sleep is not devoid of those prismatic fragments you humans call dreams. Though in this case, I rather think your nocturnal imaginings are worth rather more than that. They are not dreams, are they, to which your slumbering mind is subjected? You know that they are not. Otherwise your body would not be so very cold and so clammy. The images that flicker beneath your closed eyelids like the ghostly images Phenkistoscope? Are not conjured from within your mind. They are instead taken from your memories. You are not merely dreaming, you are remembering. You remember the girls who slept in your dormitory and how they always hastened to use the shower first so you were last for breakfast. You remember how when you finally did arrive at the dining hall, the most desirable morsels had already been snarfled up by girls who got there earlier. You struggled too to find a seat once you finally did get your hands on some food because nobody ever wanted to sit with you. The other girls all acted like you were a leper, save for when they wanted favors. They never asked for these favors, mind, for why would they? To them, your father's prestige did not matter. They were all wealthy ladies too, many of them wealthier than you. When everybody has the airs and graces of a princess, how is anybody supposed to stand out? You stood out the least in your class, perhaps because you were one of the smallest, the frailest, the sickliest, who always came down with colds in the winter. Your poor health did not stop the other girls from treating you as a servant, though. When they remembered that you existed, of course. It was your lot in life, as you dwelt within the stone walls of a conservatory, to carry school bags across the field, like a pack mule. Then, come the evenings, the girls in your dormitory had you sewing on missing buttons and ironing out the creases and wrinkles in their uniforms. If there was an odd job that needed performing, you would always be asked. But these girls did not ask you. That would have been too civilized. They ordered you instead, and as they ordered you, they laughed at you. They laughed, and they laughed, and they laughed. The laughter hurt, but it hurt considerably less than the kicks did, and the slaps, and the pinches. Once, during the embroidery lesson, one of your classmates had an accident with her sewing scissors. She stumbled, or at least she pretended to, and before you knew it, the silvery blades of the scissors were embedded in your left palm. This happened quite some time ago, when you were even littler than you are now. But you can still remember it. It hurt a lot. The scissors were sharp, and they perforated your skin, not all the way down to the bone, but enough to bleed. Your wound bled bright red like strawberry jam all over your embroidery. Then, when your professor saw it, she shrieked. Her face turned as pale as way, and she looked for a few moments as though she might faint, though you were the one who was in pain. Your professor looked at your face. She could not bear to look at your hand, then demanded to know why you could not be more careful. Her tone had been an accusatory one, almost as if you had stabbed yourself in the hand with your scissors to goad her. The pain in your hand hurt, but the giggles of your persecutors hurt a lot more, all the more. They never were punished for that. Perhaps your professor did not care enough to punish them. Perhaps she, like everybody else, thought it was all your fault. The wound, when all was said and done, was not too deep. You did not need any stitches. It healed well enough in time on its own, though it still left a scar, a white raised sting, like a crescent moon. You still have that scar. You do not know how much blood you lost. It seemed like a lot back in the classroom. You could smell it in the air, sharp as iron, but it could not have been that much, evidently. If your wound had been more serious, perhaps your professor might have cared. Perhaps your classmates, too, would have felt some modicum of guilt over what they did. But this seems very unlikely. You know that your blood meant nothing to your classmates. Why should it? If you meant next to nothing, then the blood in your veins was, if such a thing is possible, even more inconsequential. You feel disoriented when you awake, at long last with the rising of the sun. You do not remember what you dreamt, but you do not think that your dreams were of a particularly pleasant nature. If they were, your heart would not be hammering so. Ill at ease, you glance around. You are lying in a narrow bed in an unremarkable room, one with dull beige walls and wood wooden floor. Where exactly are you? This does not look like your dormitory or the conservatory, not unless it has shrunk threefold overnight. Your brow furrows as you attempt to recall the events of the night prior, until, with a gasp, it all clicks into place. You remember now. You are running through the woods trying to escape from. You shudder. You do not want to think of what it was you were trying to escape from. You presume that you must have given your hunter the slip, though, because you are still in one piece, awake and alert enough to face the dawn in the morning. You still have all of your limbs, and your facial features appear to be in correct configuration. That is more than enough to be getting along with. You look to the foot of your bed and blink, bemused at your discovery. You can see, lying upon the sheets, a garment. 2 garments, actually. Of black and white, folded in a neat white square. What could that be in that bed? If so, it wouldn't be too surprising. You can now recall your visit with the princess the night prior and her assertions that you must be her latest maid. Well, well, if that's the role she wants you to assume, you'll have no qualms with it. It's far preferable to the other role you played last night, that of a startled quarry running from its pursuer. You press your fingers against the humble maid's attire. It feels surprisingly soft to the touch, not coarse like you expected. These clothes are rather fine. Did the princess put them there? If so, that is all the more reason to wear them. I can't see a damn thing. You're not churlish enough to deny her hospitality. You rise from your new bed, then undress yourself, unbuttoning the front of your plain white nightgown and setting it aside. This task accomplished, you then clad yourself in a new attire, black, white, and eminently sensible. You feel very far away from the girl you once were. Your face might be the same as always, but something within you seems to have changed. You're no longer a student, not as long as you mean to reside within a princess's castle. You would far rather be her servant. Assured of your newfound identity, you retreat from your chamber, then make your way to your mistress's bedroom. The castle is a large one with many doors and many hallways to connect them, and for a brief while you find yourself horridly lost. You cannot remember where the princess's bedroom is. You're beginning to feel rather disorientated when, to your relief, your eyes snag upon a stairwell which looks rather familiar. Could this be the way? You ascend these steps, your footfalls cushioned by this plush carpet which lines them. Then you find your way down the very same hall you traversed the night prior. If your memory does not fail you, then the princess's bedroom ought to be. Yes, it is here. You rap upon the door, but receive nothing in the way of a response. Is the princess still abed? You wonder briefly whether you ought to wait until she has risen of her own accord. But no. The sun is high in the sky, and it would be a shame to let the princess sleep through the day. You ought instead to rouse her. That seems like the sort of duty a lady's maid should attend to. You enter the princess's bedroom and glance about. Her room looks much the same as you remember from the night prior, though the ceiling seems even higher when viewed in the morning's light. You can see, now that there are fewer shadows to impede your view, how very opulent your young mistress's abode is. Her armoire is large and imposing, and is the grate in which you will be expected to keep a fire lit during the nights. The princess herself, meanwhile, is curled on her bed beneath the sheets, looking rather less grandiose than her title would suggest. She is attired in a nightgown, or adorned with frills, and her hair is split across her pillow like spilled gold. And her slender arms, meanwhile, held to her chest as a doll, the very same one she was cosseting last night. You suppose this doll must be her favorite. Idly, you wonder what the doll's name is, though you do not suppose it matters all that much. It is time to wake your mistress. You call out to the princess, but she is largely unresponsive. Her eyelashes are still swollen tightly shut, and her lips pursed in slumber. You purse your lips too and sigh. Well, nobody for such a job would be easy. Once again, you call to the princess, and this time she replies. Her response is not a favorable one, however. She sighs, then turns away from you, her doll clutched to her chest. Just give me a little longer. The princess sounds so enfeebled, but you do not take pity on her. If you have learned anything from the conservatory, save for knowledge pertaining to the respiratory tracts of fish, it is that one must be cruel to be kind. You do not think this adage was practiced with any great success in the conservatory. Perhaps it will have more of an impact upon the princess. You tell her, once again, to wake up, more sternly this time. You will not let her sleep, for she has slept long enough already. It is very slovenly, really. It is very slovenly, really, to still be at bed at such an hour. Oh, defeated the princess's eyes. All right. I can see that I can't twist you around my little finger. Why is she allowed to be so cute? I'm up, you don't need to nag me. Once you have roused the princess from her bed and you have put her doll to one side, you set upon her toiletry. You aid the princess in brushing her hair, a chore to which she submits willingly, like a cat might allow its fur to be brushed. You allow yourself to ponder as you run the bristles of the princess's brush through her hair, how wonderfully soft it feels against your skin. But a curious query from the princess. Are you alright, dear one? Brings you back to your senses. You were rather lost in a thought there. Look lively now. You wouldn't want the princess to catch wind of your salacious thoughts. You wouldn't want the princess to catch wind of your salacious thoughts, would you? Be nice to me. I thought you had learnt your lesson about that already. Suitably chastised, you finish with the princess's hair and set the brush aside. Now that the princess's dresses have been taken care of, you must start on her attire. The princess remains seated upon the edge of her bed, looking up at you, askance. She does not ask you for your eyes, nor does she make any motion of divesting herself of her nightgown. It really does seem as though she expects you to undertake this task on your own. Is that alright? You ask the princess as much. You would not wish to impede upon her modesty, but she only laughs. Yes, that's alright. That's what you're supposed to do if you're to be my lady's maid. I'm used to being dressed and undressed. I'm not a bit squeamish about it. She might not be squeamish about it, but you are. You have never seen a naked woman before, accepting yourself. Even then, however, you have always dressed and undressed fervently, not wanting to examine your body for longer than is strictly necessary. I can't read. You have never much liked the way that you look. You make a few more mumbled objections, but the princess sweeps them to one side easily. It's alright. I may be a princess, but we're both people underneath all our clothes. I doubt we look much different. You're not sure about that. You have not yet seen the princess unadorned, but you already know to look at her face, that you are different. She is much, much prettier than you are. But she is waiting, and you do not wish to keep her any longer. You steady your nerves. Then you reach out with trembling hands, and you begin to undo the buttons which run down the front of the princess's nightgown. You work as quickly as you are able, which, given how badly your hands are shaking, is not very. You fumble with a couple of the buttons, flinching as you do so. The princess, however, seems blissfully unaware of what it is exactly you're doing, or not doing, for your fingers have begun to seize up with the front of her nightgown. She's not even looking at you. Instead, her gaze is directed beyond your shoulder to the windowsill, and the sky beyond it. It isn't particularly sunny, but I don't think it's too cold outside. Going for a walk might not be a bad idea. What do you think, dear one? Her calling saying dear one is maybe a little nice. You think that you would like to finish... I can read. You think that you'd like to finish undressing the princess as soon as possible so you could make some progress undressing her again. The sight of all this exposed skin is bad for you. Fortunately, you're able to make quick work of the princess's nightgown despite your initial mishap, spurred on perhaps for your anxiety. Shut up! You put the princess stand, to which she does innately. She steps out of her nightgown. Her motions once again as graceful and as fluid as a dancer's. This task completed, you search hurriedly, worried for the princess's red dress. Where is it? You cannot find it. Sweat begins to prickle on the back of your neck. Your palms, meanwhile, feel uncomfortably clammy. The moments pass awkwardly, uneasily, as you search, the princess standing there all the while, as naked as the day she was born. Why did you not find her day dress before you stripped her of her night one? What a fool you are. The princess, noting your panic, giggles, then says, "Are you looking for my dress?" "Yes," you reply, your face flushed. "That is what you were doing." "I thought so. I did wonder before you started undressing me why you did not ask where it was. Maybe it slipped your mind." Listen. It had slipped your mind yesterday. You were too busy trying to not touch. You were too busy trying not to fixate upon the princess's bare skin to think about how to best conceal it. Shut up. "My dress is in my armory," the princess says, glancing over the aforementioned piece of furniture. The armory of hers is intricately carved wooden structure, large enough as, or so you estimate, to fit inside it enough dresses to attire a whole ballroom's worth of princesses. "I'd like to wear the red one. It's my favorite. Would you be a dear and fetch it for me?" "I do not want to rush you, but it's rather cold in here, especially when I'm so naked." She raises a good point. You turn away from the princess and make your way to her armor room. Once there, you open its wooden doors and peruse the clothes hanging within. It's just as you expected. Inside the wardrobe lies numerous dresses, all of them finely sewn and decorated with no shortage of ribbons, lace, and iridescent pearls. You find the princess's red dress soon enough, then hurry to her side. With your spoils in hand, you hurry to dress her, concealing, once again, the princess's pale skin beneath layers upon layers of soft red velvet. She's easier to look at now, you think, with her skin concealed. That might have been the most nerve-wracking task you have ever had to accomplish, even more so than your perilous escapes through the foggy forest. Why, it seems a small miracle you could still remember how to breathe. That's much better. Thank you, dear one, for your help. You've not been here for a full day, but I already wonder what I'd do without you. Shyly, she assures the princess that you did nothing really, nothing beyond your job. You did not do anything incredible. In any case, being complimented by somebody so pretty is embarrassing. Autumn? Don't be like that. I want to compliment you. Why shouldn't I? You've been so helpful. It'd be rude not to in any way. My face hurts. Your your face flushes from this more deeply than ever before. You have to count yourself lucky, really. What with all this excessive blushing, the princess does not seem to possess any vampires. Stop lying me. I didn't ask for this. Now the princess declares, why don't we go for a walk? It's a nice enough day and I get so very bored being cooped up inside. I can't think of any particular objections to raise to this remark. You can't think... I'm already inserting. You can't think of any particular objections to raise to this remark, and you think that the princess might have a point. The castle, though expansive, is somewhat stifling. The walls are so very thick they put you in the mind of a crypt. With your acquiescence assured, the princess quits her chamber, her posture elegant and her gait unhurried. She seems not to walk as she navigates her way through the seemingly endless walls of her home, but to float like a cloud. The hem of her dress swishes around her legs, and her hair shifts like a shroud. The castle's courtyard, meanwhile, is sadly lacking in comparison to the princess's beauty. The courtyard is fenced in by the castle's walls, which look in this dark midday light, tall and imposing, faceless soldiers standing sentinel. Though the sun is out, it is not particularly bright, and neither is it particularly warm. The courtyard itself, meanwhile, is in a state of disarray. The flower beds are in shambles, all overgrown with weeds. It is all rather depressing. The princess's castle might be grand in scale, but the courtyard itself is simple, hemmed in to a claustrophobic degree, like a coffin. The princess, however, seems not to share your dolorous mood. She instead looks elated by her newfound surroundings, her smile unwavering. She gambols about like a lamb, flitting hither and thither as she examines the wheat-infested flower beds. Her frolicking comes to a cease, however, by a bush. One is full of bright red roses. Oh, how very pretty. Do you not think they are gorgeous, dear one? The flowers are not too disappointing, you suppose. They make for a fine spectacle, in fact. A welcome splash of color when contrasted with the dullness and the drabness which permeates the rest of the courtyard. Though the other flowers in the beds are withered things, it is not so for these roses. They are a rich, bright red, just like blood. Their heads so full they seem almost to droop beneath the weight of their own gorge petals. They are pretty, in a sense. But there is something unsettling about them too, something that is almost obscene. How did these roses become so very red? What has been sustaining them? Could it be possible that these roses have been drained of life from the other flowers which are struggling to grow within this garden? It is a fanciful thought, but they are simply divine. Look at these roses, always lift my spirits. They really are my most favorite flowers. I simply must pick one of them. Perhaps I can use them to decorate my bedchamber. It could use a bit of color. The princess reaches out as to pluck one of the roses free from its resting place amongst its brethren. You watch her, your breath bated, anxious that this gesture might result in a perforated flesh and bright red blood. But the princess is not as clumsy as you fear. Of course she is not. Who do you think she was? You? Rather than worrying about other people, you would be better served if you worried more about yourself. Shut up. The princess holds her newly pilfered rose to her nose and inhales, her eyelids falling shut as the flower's sweet scent washes over her. A few moments of silence pass, and the princess begins to toy with the petals which adorn the flower's crown. Now let me see. I wonder what fate has in store for me. She loves me? The princess plucks a petal from the flower's overburdened head. She loves me not. The princess continues with this childish incantation, all the while stripping her rose slowly and methodically of its petals. These petals flutter about the princess like bloody snow. The princess's voice, meanwhile, echoes throughout the courtyard, even more melodic than the strains of Pinola? She loves me not. She loves me, she loves me not. The princess's fingers hover over the final petal, which crowns her nearly denuded flower. Then with a triumphant smile, she declares, she loves me. I knew it. You watch the princess, amazed by her girlish good cheer. The little mantra she has been reciting is one that you are familiar with. The girls at conservatory also used to engage in this little game. The young ones, at least, who believed that a fairy tale prince would whisk them away. You might have participated in this game yourself when you were a child yourself, but you never pinned your hopes and dreams on a handsome prince. Your interest in Prince has always been minimal. I wonder why. When it comes to fair princesses, though. Shut up. Shut up. Pleasantly, you ask the princess whose love it is she wishes to court, a query which makes the princess giggle. Oh, dear one, who else would I be thinking of? Naturally, I was thinking of you. Naturally. She says it so easily, as though you ought to have suspected as much, and indeed, part of you did. You wanted to believe, yet a part of you was afraid to. You did not want to be arrogant enough to assume that the princess might care for your affections. You begin to blush, and cheeks almost as red as the roses, while the princess laughs. She laughs and she laughs and she laughs, her voice clear and sweet like a nightingale's song, as though you're the funniest thing she has ever seen. You never liked being laughed at when you dwelt within the walls of the conservatory, but it is different with her. You have not known her for all that long, but you are very entranced by her, ensnared. She has you wrapped around her little finger. Oh my. The princess's laughter tapers off into a series of giggles as, smiling, she wipes her eyes with the back of her hand. That was quite the amusing diversion, but I've just had an idea. You look at the princess curiously. What idea? You can't tell? You cannot even begin to guess. I just thought that all this watching must be boring you, the princess says, tossing the rose's stripped stem carelessly to the ground. You should try it. Please do. It'll be fun. The princess retrieves a second rose from the bushes, you deftly snapping it between her fingers, and offers it to you. I want to see what fate has in store for you too. You smile at the princess, touched by her enthusiasm. Indulging in childish games like this may not be the best use of your time, but the princess looks so very determined you would not wish to hurt her. What could be the harm, really, in consenting? The only real casualty of this game will be one singular rose, the rose that the princess is holding towards you. You reach out meaning to accept the princess's offering, but... oh no. You are clumsy and seize the stem of the rose with a touch too much strength. The head of the rose may be pretty, but there is more than a rose than its bright red flowers. Roses have thorns too, a fact you are now painfully reminded of. A pain flares through your fingers and you gasp. You take a step back and the hem of your skirt swishes around your ankles. Your finger is stinging, and so are your eyes. You ought to have been more careful. Why were you so stupid? You poor dear, you're bleeding, the princess exclaims, alarmed. Then she frowns. This is all my fault. If I had not suggested a silly game, this never would have happened. Please, let me take care of you. And how's she going to do that? Perhaps she needs to take a handkerchief from her pocket with which she might staunch your wound. Princesses tend to carry handkerchiefs around with them, do they? Don't they? Silky ones. How else would they give brave knights tokens of their gratitude once their aforementioned knights have successfully slain dragons? Princesses can hardly dispense kisses as favors. It simply is not done. This is what you always thought, but... Please, hold still. This might sting a little bit. The princess is anything but ordinary. Rather than take a handkerchief out of her pocket, she instead encloses her white, slender fingers around your hand. Carefully, as though she is handling a precious object, she raises her hand, her eyes affixed all the while on the beads of startlingly crimson blood which are oozing luridly from your wound. She licks her lower lip. Then dips her head. She parts her mouth in with a soft sigh, which borders on this sensuous. She slips her injured digit between her teeth. So much for princesses not dispensing kisses as tokens of appreciation. This might not be a conventional kiss, but feels intimate regardless, almost startlingly so. The princess's lips, which are as red as any rose, are enclosed around your index finger. You can feel the warmth of the princess's mouth about your skin and the wetness of it. These sensations make her whole body quake. You did not expect this. Tremulously, in a voice which wavers, you ask the princess what it is she's doing. The princess glances up at you, her mouth still enclosed around your finger. Then I tell you, I'm trying to stop the bleeding. Yes, you gather this much, but... Is there a problem? I'm not making you uncomfortable, am I? It's not, you say, that she's making you uncomfortable, per se, but this is rather awkward. You did not expect it, that is all. And she's not worried that this is unhygienic. Unhygienic? The princess blinks. She's the very picture of innocence, which is funny, really, given your fingers still nestled against it. I don't know what you mean by that exactly. But I've heard this is the best way to take care of cuts. My nursemaids used to do this for me when I was a child. It's what you're supposed to do. And you ask, your voice catching in your throat, did her nursemaid keep staunching her wounds with her mouth when she grew older? Well, no, but my nursemaid was dismissed when I was 8 years old. That's a total normal way of things. I had my lady's maids to look after me by then. Very interesting. And did they ever clean her wounds like this? No, the princess says, smiling mischievously, because I'm not clumsy enough to cut myself, silly. Now that was quite the sharp retort. You did not expect it. Your face turns red. If such a thing is possible, though this may perhaps be to your benefit. With some luck, all your blood will flow to your face rather than to your finger, and your bleeding will stop. Has it stopped? Your injury is not a deep one. There should be no need for the princess to keep suckling, but there is. You're not accustomed to intimacy of this nature. It is making my heart feel. If the princess knew what her you are not sure she would not be so very familiar. You feel quietly, crushingly confident that she would scorn you for your feelings and deem them unnatural. It would not be the first time. At this point, you should be used to rejection. It still stings though. It stings much more than any thorn on any rose you ever cut. It stings much more. It stings much more than any thorn on any rose ever cut. The days pass following your misadventures in a rose garden in a relaxed, unhurried sort of manner. Your mad dash through the forest is beginning to feel like a distant memory, so much so you can scarcely recall the raw, naked fear you once felt as you fled for your life. There was no running to be had while you were working for the princess. You would have nowhere else to run. In any event, there is no longer any reason to run. The shadows which once tormented you have, at long last, begun to recede. You can scarcely recall as you lay down in your bed the petty cruelties you were subjected to by your classmates at the conservatory. They no longer matter. Your attention is focused, not upon yourself, but upon the princess. The more time you expend with her, the more you come to care for her. You have become quite besotted with her. Besotted. I'm going to assume that that's the right way to say it. I know I'm butchering that. But you're yet to realize it. Well, I never. How very ignorant can one girl be of her own feelings? The princess is not so ignorant as you are, though despite having spent her whole life within the palace's walls, the weight of her own feelings are not unknown to her, and during one stormy night, she chooses to make them known to you. Whoops. You're in the princess's chambers later, perhaps. You're in the princess's chambers later, perhaps, than you ought to be. Better later than is strictly appropriate. It is dark outside, and there is a little save the light of the moon to alleviate it. That and the fire which crackles in the grate. You've only just finished stroking the very fire, and now you rise. You look to the princess who is lying in her bed, and you bid her good night, as you have many nights past. With a neat curtsy, you turn to leave, but the princess's plaintive voice gives you pause. Wait, dear one. Do not go. Not just yet. Perplexed, you pause, then look back at the princess. Though she is smiling, her expression is unusually wan. Is she alright? Oh, I'm sure I'll be fine. It's just nights like this, you know, which make me feel a little out of sorts. And what, you ask, does she mean by that? One that is very cold and very dark. And it is very windy besides. I'm afraid there'll be a storm later. It was awfully cloudy earlier when we went out for a walk. The princess is not mistaken about that. The sky when a pair of your premeditated when the pair of you promenaded about the gardens earlier. Okay. See, you can sound words out and make it work. Was grey and steely, the wind bitingly cold. You can hear the wind rattling mournfully against the panes in the princess's bedchamber. The princess's castle is built of stone, and it was well fortified, but even with the fire, it is rather cold. You do not like to think of how much chillier by comparison it will be in your humble bedchamber, which is not fortunate enough to have its own fireplace. It might sound childish, but I've always found it hard to sleep on stormy nights like this. They make me feel uncomfortable. You look at the princess with no small degree of sympathy. No one clad in her bright red dress, she looks oddly, uncommonly vulnerable. Will she really be alright all alone in her oversized bed in her high-ceiling bedchamber? You know it's silly of you to contemplate such a query. Why would she not be alright? There is nobody in the castle to hurt her, but still, you fret for her. As her lady's maid, it is your job to fret for her. You would never want your mistress to feel unhappy. You ask the princess what it is she would have you do, and the princess perks up at this, pleased, perhaps, that you are taking the initiative. I wouldn't like to take up too much of your time when it's so very late. But would you mind sitting with me a little while longer and reading to me? Provided that you can, of course. This is a fair enough question, but your pride bristles regardless. Hastily reassure the princess that yes, of course you could read. You are poor in many aspects at the conservatory, but you had something of a gift when it came to the literary arts. Very pathetic, and I must have saying literary. Reading books is all you have ever been good at. It was not for me. Oh, I see. I suppose I should have known. You're so incredible. I sometimes wonder if there's anything you can't do. The princess's high praise make you flush. Awkwardly, you look away. Being able to read, you assure her, is not such a great feat. Perhaps it isn't where you hail from, but it is here. Very few of my old servants could read, and they certainly couldn't read the books that I read. This piques your interest. Intrigued, you ask the princess what books exactly she likes. Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm fond of fairy tales, you see. Old ones from centuries past. I have a collection of them here, the princess says, indicating a book on her bedside table as thick as a mortuary slab. The book is old though, and the bindings are weak. The pages are brittle, the writing woefully old-fashioned. I didn't trust any of my past servants with that book, but I think you would do a good job breathing life into those old stories. Would you mind reading one to me for just a brief while? Please, dear one. Please? The princess's request seems a simple one, expressed sweetly, so much so, you see no reason to refuse her. You take a seat beside the princess, upon her luxurious bed, which sinks beneath your weight. You then retrieve the leather-bound book, which is resting upon her bedside table, and spread it open. The pages of the book are very brittle, like the princess said, and the bindings of the book are loose. You can feel in the heft of the book's manifold pages the weight of the ages concealed within it. How old is this book? Perhaps it is as old as the castle in which it resides. It is with a quiet voice, hesitant at first, that you begin to read to the princess a tale of courtly love which culminates in a lavish wedding ceremony. All the while as you read, the princess listens to you, enraptured, hanging, or it seems, upon your every word. Once you reach the final phrase, embossed? Why did I say embosom? Yeah, embossed upon the pages of this aged tome. And we live happily ever after. The princess sighs as though this fairy tale has touched her very soul. What that? What that there was a handsome prince that married me, she says somberly. Or, better yet, a beautiful princess. At this point, I think I would even settle for lowly scullery maid. You blush at the saddle remark and mumble softly that this would not be proper. The storm outside is still squalling, and you have never been one to raise your voice. You do not expect, therefore, the princess will overhear you, but she does. She observes you, her head resting against her pillows, and says, "And what will be the problem with that, As my maid, shouldn't my happiness come before any silly ideas of propriety?" "Well, of course," you reply, "but for a princess to marry a scullery maid." "You're still hung up about that," the princess titters. "Don't pay it too much heed. I'm just talking to myself." As if anything like that would ever happen, and there is no priest around who would start to officiate it. You think there are greater issues with the princess's plan than the lack of a priest, though she does present a good point. The castle is an empty one. Even if the princess were to find somebody she loves, there would be nobody to make such a wedding official. You cannot help but feel like you have avoided a good deal of nuisance. But by the same token, do you not feel a touch disappointed? Well, never mind. "That was a nice story," the princess says. "But I'm not sleepy yet, and it's still storming outside. Will you read me one more?" "You will not mind," you reply, "but it is getting late. You really ought to return to your own chamber." "I know, but can't you find it in your heart to read one story to me? Just one. You chose a short one. You can choose a short one. I won't complain." You have some doubts about that, but as before, you cannot resist the princess's demands. It is not, you think, because she is a princess, though that is, of course, a part of it, but because she is, well, radiant. You would not, you think, as you turn to the next story recounted in this age compendium, want to upset her. You would rather cut your own tongue out. You read another story to the princess, which is of a similar vein to the last. Impossible adventures, culminated at their close in a happy marriage. This tale delights the princess just as much as the tale you read prior, and she begs for another, then another. One bedroom story becomes 5, and even then, when the candles which flicker on the princess's bedside are close to guttering out, the princess is not satisfied. Like a grasping, greedy child, she has never heard of moderation. When she wants something, she seeks to glut herself with it, her only request out of more. If she were less calmly, perhaps her inability to adhere to the word no would be seen as a character deficit. The princess is very commonly, however, and so when she makes her next request, you almost agree offhand without considering the ramifications. I think I could go to sleep now, but the storm is still raging. I feel so lonely on my own, in this big empty bed, so... I know, the princess's eyes light up in the night sky in a thunderstorm. Why don't you sleep with me? You stare at the princess, your eyes wide as goose eggs. Slowly you blink. Then just as slowly you repeat herself. "Didn't you hear me?" the princess giggles. "Maybe you've been so busy cleaning up after me, you've neglected to clean out your own ears." "I said, dear one, would you like to sleep with me?" If that is the question she truly means to ask, then it is easy enough to answer. Of course you would like to sleep with her. It would be an honor. But would it really be alright for you to accept such an invitation? It must be a gross breach of protocol, surely, for a lowly domestic such as yourself to share a bed with a princess. sit upon the princess's bedside, fretting while she observes with wide, beseeching eyes. She is waiting. Well, what's the matter, dear one? Why do you tarry so? Could it be? The princess's lower lip begins to tremble. Don't you want to lie with me, after all? The sorrow present in the princess's voice and in her face makes you feel awfully guilty. Hurriedly, you console her. You tell her in no uncertain terms that if she truly wishes to partake in your company, then you have no qualms with it. Why would you? Well then, don't just stand there dilly-dallying, silly. Come and join me. Come. And that is what you do, after returning briefly to your own chamber to change into your nightgown. Once dressed, you waste no time in returning to your impetuous princess's side. She's already lying in a glorious four-postered bed, awaiting your return as though you were a knight-errant gone away to slay some wicked dragon. The princess giggles when she sees you. In your haste to change, you made a hash of the buttons, and she bids you to come closer. Fix that for you, silly. Oh no, you say. I couldn't possibly let you do that. I am but a servant after all. Shouldn't it not be your job to dress her? Maybe so, the princess says. But I don't mind a bit of a reversal. It makes things more fun. I try a few more refutations, but in vain. The princess summarily discards all of them. Summarily. Quite the princess's mercy. She might be even more stubborn than you are. You capitulate to her demands. You let the princess unbutton the front of your nightdress, then rebutton them, so the fabric of your plain gown is drawn shut. Satisfied with her handiwork, she has very elegant hands. The princess draws back and pats the mattress beside her. Now come in. It must be horribly cold out there, but these sheets are warm. Coyly, the princess smiles. Oh, am I? You feel warm yourself as you slide into bed beside the princess. Your face is red as the gown the princess so often wears, as red as the roses in the castle's grounds, all the while your heart is fluttering. Does the princess know what an effect she is having on you? Surely she must. How can any woman be so blind? There, the princess exclaims, once your body is lying beside hers. That is much better. Do you feel cozy now, dear one? You swallow, and with a shaky voice you reassure her. Yes, you are cozy. You are quite cozy indeed. Very good. The storm might be raging outdoors, but it can't get us here. I know when I'm with you, I'll be safe. It's strange, but... The princess reaches out and takes your hand in hers, twinning your fingers together like a chain. When I'm with you, I feel so very light. It's as though nothing in the world can hurt me. You make me feel safe, so I want to make you feel safe too. I'll take very, very good care of you. I promise. You return her smile with one of your own, touched by her thoughtfulness. Though something about her promise does make you wonder. Should it not be your job to look after her as a domestic? In a way, the princess replies after a pause. But you've been taking good care of me already. Now I need to return the favor. As a princess, I'm supposed to look after all my vassals. It's all part of the job description. You were unaware that being a princess came with a job description. You thought the profession came with far fewer written responsibilities and far fewer forms to sign than, say, becoming a doctor, or an astrophysicist or mathematics professor. You tell the princess this, sleepily, and she laughs. You do say some funny things, dear one. I think you must be tired. Rest your head. been working so hard. I think you deserve it. Yes, you think. Only half conscious. You think you deserve it too. You have been working hard for a long time. Have been running for even longer. But now, at long last, you feel like you can let your fears go. Your eyelids begin to droop, your body beleaguered by a sudden, all-consuming fatigue. And in a quiet, understated sort of way, your consciousness is conveyed to Morpheus's kingdom. Your sleep is a deep one, despite the storm which rages outside. Outdoors. The wind is howling like a couple of wild cats, both locked in a vicious and bloodthirsty battle to death, but you do not hear it. Swallowed by the warm blankets about you and soothed by the princess's presence, you are immune from all the ills of the world. When you are with the princess, you feel safe, secure, and, yes, you even feel loved. It is a pity, then, that these feelings do not last for a very long time. You know that something is wrong, catastrophically so, the moment you open your eyes. Your thoughts are hopelessly jumbled, but you're certain that when you fell asleep it was in a bed, a nice warm bed no less, beneath soft, comfortable sheets. You are not lying in bed right now, though. You are not in fact lying at all. You are standing instead against the cold, hard wall made of stone. The curve of your back is pressed against the wall so intimately you can feel its itchy chill seeping through the fabric of your nightgown. Your feet, which are bare, are simply pressed against the cold, unfeeling stone. You feel so frigid you cannot help but tremble. You are trembling so much you can feel the teeth chattering together. They sound like castanets. The sound is almost jaunty as it echoes through your cell, for that is, indeed, where you are. The princess's bedchamber wherein you fell asleep is a thing now of the past. You are standing instead, you realize, with a sharp start, in the cell of some great underground dungeon. You swallow, and when you do, you can taste something bitter on your tongue. Your stomach is beginning to churn with anxiety. You feel like you're going to be sick, a feeling which wells up inside you to a staggering degree when you catch notice of the stench. You are not, you realize, the only one in a dungeon. There are others here, others attired in the simple black and white outfits of servants, which look much like the dress that you once wore. The others who are with you, however, in this expansive cell, manacled to the walls, are in no fit state to speak to you, nor to tell you of their plights. They are all unfeeling, unseething, unbreathing. They are all dead. You cannot approach these servants to check their pulses, for you yourself are restrained, but even if you could, there would be no point. There is no way any human could survive the wounds which have been inflicted upon these sad, slumped bodies. Over there you see a woman slumped, the front of her once white apron stained with blackish blood. There's a gaping wound in her stomach, one through which her entrails have half escaped, and some sort of burgundy goop, which might once have been pale pink. There's another woman slumped beside the first of a smaller stature. She is skinnier. Maybe she's not woman after all, but an adolescent like yourself. She might even be younger. The girl's age or lack of did not preclude her attacker from inflicting upon her horrors. Alas, for her body is even more mutilated than the first. Her body is covered with even more wheals on it, and her face has been half smashed in. One eye remains staring fixatedly at the wall opposite her, and the room remains as it was once her skull. Over there you see a woman who is missing both her arms and her lower jaw. Over there you see another who's missing her entire lower half. Where have her legs gone? You have no idea. The injuries inflicted upon these bodies are ghastly, but their advanced decay is enough to turn your stomach. You know not how long these carcasses have been laying down there, and they have begun to putrefy. You fear a similar fate may befall you. Should you stay here, you need to escape. Fitfully, you struggle against the manacles which bind you, but alas, it is no use. You cannot free yourself from the walls. Your restraints are much too strong, and you are much too weak. Panic rises in your throat, cold and icy, while terror seizes your heart. This too, glacial. It is obvious that escape is impossible, but still you squirm and writhe like a rat caught in a firestorm. There is little point, however, to your struggles. You succeed in nothing as you attempt to free yourself, save making the steel manacles dig your absurd wrists more sharply than before, into your abused wrists more sharply than before. You gasp. That hurts. Well, you ought to have known that would not have worked. That would not work. The very definition of insanity is, performing a set action over and over again, hoping for a different response. In that sense, perhaps one could argue optimism is not so very different from insanity. Now, that is an interesting point to consider. Would you not agree? No, evidently not. You're still trying to escape, you foolish girl, as if that will do you any good. The clangorous rattling of your steely restraints is rather starting to get on my nerves. You're making enough noise to raise the dead down there in your dark, dingy cell, and all your screaming is hardly helping matters. I wish that you would cease that infernal racket, but I know you will not. Nothing I say could ever get through to you. Not that you have ever listened to me in the first place. Perhaps you would listen to her, though. Is she not your kind, considerate mistress? Look now, she has come all this way into the dark depths of the castle's cold, inhospitable dungeon to see you. Is that not kind of her? Oh, dear one, the princess trills, entering the dungeon with a series of lilting steps. It would seem like you have finally awoken. How are you? Based on all the infernal racket you've been making, it would seem like you have no shortage of energy. Balefully, you turn your head so as to meet the eyes of the princess. She is standing but a few paces away, beneath the roughly hewn stone arch which bids one entry, but rarely ever an exit, to the dungeons. The dungeons are dull and drab, but the princess is wearing her favorite red dress. It is so bright and brilliant that for a few moments it hurts you to look at her. Once the princess's outfit made you think of romance. Now it makes you think of violence. You must forgive me for leaving you down here for so long. That was unfair of me. I did think of waiting here with you, by your side, until you woke, but... Once again, the princess giggles, a light, airy giggle which does not at all suit the situation in which you have found yourself. A dungeon is not a fit place, after all, for a princess. It is horribly cold here, and so very drab, and there is nowhere nice and soft to lay my head. could have brought my pillows from my bed, I suppose, and my blankets. But then they would have gotten dirty, and that would be a disaster. I need to be more careful. I won't have anybody left to clean up after my messes soon, not when I've dispatched of you. Once again, the princess laughs. Her laughter is light and lilting, like the chiming of a silvery bell, but it does little to alleviate your concern. If anything, it makes you feel even more alarmed. Did she say she meant the dispatch of you? Yes, that's right. Could you not tell? I thought you might have figured that out already, after waking up in a dungeon, silly. Still smiling, the princess takes another step towards you. Would that you could. You would cringe away from her, but you cannot. You are completely powerless. The princess reaches out and places a hand upon your cheek. Her skin is very white, and though her touch is cool, it is less so than the frigid air in the dungeon. Though your body is aching, the princess's touch is gentle, and you find yourself leaning into it subconsciously. You wish she would keep holding you. You wish she would keep touching you. You luxuriate in her kindness as best you can. But though the princess's caresses are tender, your circumstances rather undermine them. How could you relax like this? You're such a good girl, the princess says, in a cajoling sort of voice, as one might address a cat. You've been so lovely to me while we've been together. I really couldn't ask for a better servant. I feel as though I've been spoiled. Why then, you ask her, is she doing this? Improbable though it sounds, she must be the one who chained you up. There was nobody else in the castle who could have committed such a feat. Everybody else is dead. Why yes, how very astute of you. I was the one who orchestrated all of this naturally. Naturally, she says, as though her betrayal is a matter of course. Naturally. Why, you ask, is this so natural to her? What does she mean to do with you? Oh, only what I've done to all my other servants. I have experience with this sort of thing, so please don't worry. I'll take good care of you. And by take good care of, she means, naturally, I'll kill you. There it is again, that word, which seems grossly inappropriate given all that which has transpired. Naturally. There's nothing natural about this. Do you not think so? The princess examines you, her expression ponderous. It is natural to me, even if it isn't natural to other people. This just feels right. Imprisoning her servants in a dungeon and letting them die? Yes, exactly. There's a bit more to it than that, though. Oh, of course there is. I like you, dear one, the princess says in a voice which sounds uncommonly serious. You have been good to me, like I said, and kind. For that, I will be eternally appreciative. You have been so good to me, in fact, that simply being with you is not enough. Not anymore. Your company can no longer content me. I'm a greedy, selfish girl, you see. The princess's smile widens into something sinister, her eyes flashing with a fiendish fervor you have never before witnessed. I don't want to feel you beside me. I want to feel you inside me. Well, of all the things your charming captive could have said, I did not expect that. The princess, perhaps noticing your confusion, begins to giggle, a giggle even lighter than Murray. This isn't offensive. I can see that you don't understand, dear one, but you aren't the only one. My last lady's maid said that too. Wanley. The princess sighs. A beleaguered woe is me sigh, which makes her look even younger than the scant handful of years she truly possesses. And the one before that, and the one before that, and the one before that. I thought you, at least, might be able to appreciate my point of view, but perhaps not. I don't think it should be too complicated to grasp, really. But maybe my way of looking at the world is a little bit unique. That's what my nurse always used to say, at least, when she still had the breath to speak, of course. You look at the princess, or else there's there for you to look, really. Your eyes affixed to her face. Affixed. She is still smiling, but there's something sinister about her smile. Or perhaps in your anxious state, you're only imagining that there is something sinister about her smile. It is easy to see things which do not really exist when your surroundings are too festooned in shadows. In actuality, however, the princess does not look any different than she usually does. Neither is she acting any differently to the way she usually acts. She has not changed. It is only your perspective of her that has changed. Tremulously, you ask the princess what she means, a question the princess is only too happy to answer. It's simple, really. Like I said, you were wondering, weren't you? Whether there weren't any guards or any servants in a castle when you first arrived here. The question had crossed your mind, yes. You are sure that the princess said the minister sent them away, though. Was that a lie? I wasn't being wholeheartedly truthful. I was being wholly truthful, no. I thought you would be afraid of me if you knew what had actually happened, and I didn't want that. I wanted you to stay with me. My ministers didn't send anybody away because I don't have any ministers. I dispatched of them, too. Did she know? You suppose you ought to be surprised, but you still shudder regardless. My ministers weren't very much fun, I'm afraid. They had a lot of ideas about what I should and shouldn't do after my parents died. The princess stares at you, her eyes wide like black holes, empty, yawning abysses. So I killed them. I killed my servants too. Though I did more thorough job with them than I did my ministers. I do not care for my ministers, you see. They are footsie old men, but I didn't love my servants. I loved my ladies' maids, my undermaids, my scullery maids, and my housekeeper, and my cooks, and my large retinue of retainers. They were like my family. They raised me in my parents' absence, and I adorned them. And I adored them. They were so very dear to me that I had no real choice. I had to eat them. Does that follow? Not logically, no. Why, asked the princess, your voice trembling, would you eat the people that you love? It seems a poor way to repay them for their kindness. Well, you wouldn't eat the people that you love. I don't think there could be any greater way of showcasing one's gratitude, unless you have any better ideas. You weren't expecting the princess to turn her tables on you quite like this, and dumbfounded, you stare at her. You know precious little about love yourself, so it's hard for you to form a convincing rebuttal, but you must up a few token arguments. You tell the princess that eating people isn't very nice, and neither is it strictly legal. A better way to show your gratitude to your servants would be to increase wages, increase holidays. The princess listens to your arguments. Her expression is astute, like a student poised to take notes in a very important lecture. Once you are finished, however, her concentration fails her. Her shoulders begin to shake. But it's not with remorse for what she has done. Instead, she is laughing. Oh, dear one, that's very funny. But why should I care about the law? I'm a princess. One day, I'll be queen. I am the law. That is a good point. But would eating people not turn her subjects against her? What subjects? I'm no fool, you know. No matter how I might act, and I know what happens beyond the castle walls. I know all about the plague. Once I might have had a populace to govern, but they're all gone now. I'm a princess, nothing but name only, a monarch without any subjects. Don't you think that's sad? I know I do. It's so woefully lonely. If she feels lonely, why has she been systemically slaughtering all of her domestics? It doesn't make a lick of sense. Perhaps not to you. Gently, the princess caresses your cheek. But I shouldn't judge you too harshly. As much as I like you, dear one, you are a commoner. Perhaps you can't understand the intricacies of my glance. Privately, you doubt that anybody would be able to understand the intricacies of the princess's thought process, largely because it is unreasonable. You do not say that, though. Instead, you ask her the only question you can think of with your weary throat, which is sore from shouting. Why? Why, you ask? The princess blinks. It's because I don't want you to leave me, of course. Everybody leaves sooner or later. Whether they have pledged their allegiances to me or not. That is simply the way of the world. People are fickle and inconsistent, even to me, a monarch. That is why I decided to eat my servants. I had no choice, you see. It was the only way to ensure that they would never leave me. When you think about it, they should be grateful that I would demean myself so, to consume their flesh and blood. I am a magnanimous ruler, you see, and I treat all of my subjects equally. I love every single one of you. And naturally, I love you too. You have been awfully nice to me, and you are very pretty alongside it. If you were a plain, ugly girl, perhaps I would not shower you with affection quite as intense as this, but you captured my heart. I think you're truly lovely. So I'll bestow upon you the highest honor I can conceive of. I want your body to mix with mine. Then we can stay together forever and ever. The princess leans in. You can feel her soft silken hair brushing against her cheeks. You can feel, too, the warmth of her breath as it goes across your skin. It is cold in the dungeon, but the princess's close proximity is perverse through, though this might sound something of a comfort. Her eyes are wide and her lips are so red. Her smile, meanwhile, is so sweet. I've been doing my best to fulfill the role that fate has dictated for me, but really, the princess exhales. Her eyes, which are boring into yours, are like two dark torrents. Finally, you can see, in the alarming lack of light, the lack of anything, in the princess's gaze, some degree of humanity. It gets so lonely here. But this brief flicker of understanding, which passes between the pair of you, is soon cut short. The princess dips her head. She parts her lips, which are as red as the petals of a carnivorous flower. You feel the princess's breath against your neck. It is warm in the icy chill of the dungeons, and you shudder from it. For a few moments, You'd think that this overture of the princesses could be romantic in a way, but this too comes through swift, merciless close. The princess's mouth is on your neck. The princess's teeth, sharp as needles, are in your flesh. The princess is draining your blood. She is supping on in great, greedy gobbets, like a hungry animal, one who cannot truly comprehend the harm it is causing. Even as the princess sups from you, her arms twine around your waist, you find you cannot hate her. She is far too unworldly. You are sure, as your consciousness begins to fade, that the princess was being sincere when she spoke of her love for her past servants. This is simply the way the princess expresses this great love of hers, a love which is so very abundant, it borders upon the monstrous. It is a love you never thought you would ever experience. This love of the princesses eclipses anything you have ever known before. It eclipses sanity. It eclipses reason. It eclipses all notions you might have once had of right and wrong. The princess, as you know full well, does not care about such concepts. You've always possessed a stubborn core, nestled beneath your weak-willed exterior, but the princess is even stubborner than you are. In the face of her love, you have met your match. The princess draws back desperately. You gasp for her, but she does not give you any quarter. As before, she tips her head, her red lips redder still with your blood, then splits apart her jaw. Her teeth, which are impossibly, inhumanly sharp, glint wickedly like knives. Then she tears your throat. The front of your nightgown was once white. Now it is red. There is so much blood you can smell it when you inhale, sharper than metal. It is so pure you can taste it on your tongue. You try to inhale, but this task proves to be beyond you. Perforations that have ruptured your skin. Your attempted breaths, when they escape your lips, sound like sad, sorry voices. Your whole body, meanwhile, feels as though it is on fire. You make for quite the sorry sight indeed. But you'll forgive me if my sympathy is limited. You did bring this upon yourself, you know. You reap what you sow, and in your case, you made a series of bad decisions which led to your untimely demise. Now, what do you want to do? Will you accept this fate of yours and rest in peace, or will you try to fight against it? What, really? You're fine with being eaten alive in a dark, dingy dungeon than being left to rot. That does not sound like a very satisfying ending to this particular narrative. But if that is what you want, then so be it. I do not mind indulging you. That is what I have always done, after all, from the moment we first met. I have dedicated myself tirelessly to answering your wishes, and this is no different. Do not be so foolish to think, though, that you can escape me, even if your life's blood has mingled with that of the princesses. I am not going to relinquish my hold upon you that easily. I did pledge, after all, to remain by your side, come what will, fire or flood. I will never leave you. You will never be lonely again. I, I can't even attempt to really justify what happened. I was kind of in a trance. Nope, can't justify that one. Yeah, I like this game. I went on for a lot longer than I expected reading that. I don't even... I don't have anything to say. I'm guilty, officer. That's all I can say. I'm guilty. I'll let it happen. I'm guilty. I can't attempt to... that's really it. Thank you for spending time with me. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Admittedly, the stream went on a little bit longer than I expected. Didn't expect to be reading this. Didn't expect to be... yeah, no, yeah, as you can see, I got the other... do the other one, too. Yeah, thank you for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I need to take a cold shower. I really like this game. You should play it. I'll hold this on the docket if I have an additional 2 hours to use. So yeah, I feel like I was blushing for like over 2 hours. I'm gonna go to bed or something. I don't know. I need some type of purification. Yeah, good night.